Okay, as I stated last night, I was going to do a follow-up and do a full explanation. Just going to go through a question-answer format because I recorded a video and it was a 45-minute video, so I think this will be a little bit faster and get straight to the point. So what did I get banned for? I got banned for tramadol and prednisone, which are two pain medications. It wasn't your typical steroid. It wasn't testosterone. It wasn't a SARM. It wasn't a peptide. It was for pain management for my lower back, herniated lower back and sciatica. What happened to my back? About 4 years ago, I was doing a heavy clean, not a power clean, a squat clean, if that, you know what that is. And I ruptured a disc then, and the pain and the injury has been getting worse over the course of the last couple years. Where did I get the medication? So initially I went to a physical therapist here in San Antonio, and she referred me to a sports medicine doctor, and he prescribed me meloxicam and prednisone. But that was in the very beginning. That wasn't like an ongoing prescription. The prednisone, it's a corticosteroid, not a steroid, not enhancing your physical strength or anything like that. It's for like immune systems and pain, all that stuff. But anyway, it was like a 7-day supply because that's as long as you're supposed to take it apparently. And the meloxicam was for a year. And again, that was years ago. So that's the only thing that I was ever prescribed by a doctor. I don't have insurance, so I had to pay for that consultation out of pocket. And which leads into the next question, where did I get it? So the tramadol we got in Mexico about maybe a year and a half ago. The prednisone that I do have on hand, that I ordered from India. Meloxicam, that's from India. I just started taking gabapentin, which I got from India. And I think that's mainly it. There was a painkiller in there that I got from Mexico. That was in the photo. But everything I basically got from India. So maybe, and I'm not saying it is, but maybe that stuff is contaminated because it is from India. But the actual failed drug test was for tramadol and for metabolites from prednisone because I took it so long ago. How long have I been using it? Kind of answered that already. Going on 3-4 years, I don't know. It's been so long. I've cycled through different types. You know, I'll start one and it works for a little bit, and then the pain either increases just naturally from me continuing to work out, or the pain medication becomes ineffective, so then I'll try something else. But like right now, I'm taking gabapentin, if you know what that is. That's like a nerve blocking type medication prescribed to people like cancer patients and people with extreme neuropathy. The tramadol I only take, and I only took just because I had such adverse side effects to it. I would only take sometimes if my pain was like at a, I don't know, like an 8 or a 9 level, or I would take sometimes, not all the times, before competitions. And even if my pain level wasn't high the day of a competition, I would still take it just to eliminate the possibility of, like, you know, something happening and my back flaring up or something like that. So why did I not get an exemption? As I stated, so none of this stuff was prescribed. This is stuff that I procured on my own, so you can't get an exemption from that either. And honestly, it never even crossed my mind, even if I could have, because it never dawned to me that pain medication was considered a PED or on the banned substance list. So do I feel it was a PED? I don't. Maybe some of you guys will. Maybe some of my competitors are saying, well, you wouldn't have beat me if you would have been in pain. Maybe, but I think I still probably would have won because I've been dealing with this pain for 4 years, and I don't think that that's why I won. To me, it's no different than somebody hurting their back or getting a cold the day before a competition, and they taking a Z-Pack or something that brings them back to homeostasis or baseline, brings them back to a level playing field. It doesn't give them a competitive advantage, but it's like, if you have a headache and you take Excedrin and you win, and someone says, well, if you would have still had the headache, you wouldn't have won. I'm not trying to justify it. Obviously, it's banned for a reason. I don't know the ins and outs of it. But, do I feel it was a performance-enhancing drug? No. Was it on the banned substance list? Yes. Did I know it was on the banned substance list? No. Should I have known? Yes. Should I have done the research? Yes. Do I take full responsibility and accountability? Yes, I do. So why not appeal it? I've seen athletes in all varieties of sports, walks of life, who have tested positive. Lance Armstrong and Ricky Garrard, and whenever I saw them acknowledge it, it wasn't taking ownership, it was denying it. And Phil Toon, CrossFit, I always see people just trying to make up excuses on why they did it, or it was tainted, or they got it mixed up. Guys in the UFC, I always said to myself, if which I never thought I would be in that situation, but if it ever did happen, I wouldn't do that. Like, if I made a mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, I'm sorry, I would own it. That's just, I live by that in life. If you make a mistake, accept it, own it, take responsibility, and move forward. So, thoughts and talks on retirement. So the ironic thing about this, and if you're relatively close to me, like the people who are at my gym, they see the pain that I've been in for years, and how I try to function, my lack of function. My fiance definitely knows, and she's been wanting me to retire from weightlifting for a long time. That's why I stopped doing CrossFit 4 years ago, because that's when the back injury happened. So originally I was a CrossFit athlete, but weightlifting, it gave me a new purpose. And despite the injury, the movement of a snatch or a clean and jerk, they're so quick that, yes, there's pain associated with it, but in the movement itself, it's not that bad. It comes more afterwards, but that's no different than me taking a shower, walking, grocery shopping. Like, the pain is there. So that's not what stopped me from clean and jerking or snatching. Yes, my body is broken down, my muscle has atrophied, and I've lost a lot of strength in my lower back. That's one of the reasons I also considered retiring. I was supposed to retire at the state weightlifting meet, and I did not. My fiance was not happy about it, but just day before yesterday, not even 24 hours before I got the news of this, she and I had a very deep heart-to-heart talk about me retiring, because I don't enjoy this anymore. The pain that I go through to do this, to go in every day and lift weights and go to these competitions, it's just not worth it anymore. Quality of life has suffered profoundly over the past couple of years, and she's worried about my longevity. So, I told her, I said, the only reason I haven't retired yet is because I haven't figured out my purpose afterwards. I thought my purpose was CrossFit, and then I gave that up because of the injury. Then I went into weightlifting, and to me right now, there's nothing else. I cannot compete anymore. I'm 45, body's broken. So that was the only reason I haven't retired. But, she told me last night, there's a reason behind everything. So maybe it's for the best, because maybe I wouldn't have ever retired. Maybe I would have done even more irreversible damage to my lower back had I kept going. So I didn't want it to happen like this. I definitely don't want this gray cloud over my name and my accomplishments. But yeah, I brought it on myself by not doing the research and taking those pain medications. So I want to apologize to anyone and everyone who this affected, to my competitors, to everyone who supported me. I didn't do it with ill intent. I wasn't trying to gain a competitive advantage. I messaged one of my good friends, who's one of my top competitors, and I let him know personally that, hey, this is what happened. I wanted for you to hear from me first. So I didn't have to tell anyone, because not everyone follows weightlifting, and 99.9% of you guys would never have known. But that's just my character, that if I mess up, I want people to know that I own it. I made the mistake, and I'm not trying to run from it. So maybe some of y'all don't care. which is fine too. Maybe some of y'all do care. If you have questions, I know a few guys have reached out to me and asked questions and gave advice and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, you can ask. I have nothing to hide. But I think that's it. So it was a hell of a ride.